Okay, we're live, ladies and gentlemen, here on the radio. Tuesday, the 25th day of May, 2010. We're also simulcasting at prisonplanet.tv. If you just joined us and want to watch the show, not just listen to it, go over to prisonplanet.tv. You know, instead of just analyzing propaganda that's in the news, the newspapers, nonfiction, fiction is where it's really at because they know you're not paying attention. You go to see a movie, you watch a television show to forget about the real world. But then you're being bombarded. And let me just explain to new listeners. Soviet Russia, Communist China, Hitler's Germany, oppressive societies have state-run media. But here we have something even worse, something out of East Germany, where you have private media, but it's basically all bought and paid for with what I call propaganda placement, not just product placement. Now the media is given it its own term and admitting, oh, NBC's biggest advertising is the government, and it is behavior placement. And they admit, BP comes to them and says, we'll run BP commercials and spend all this money if you add behavior placement in this show pushing for a carbon tax. This is all admitted. The denial is over. Steve Watson has a great article where he breaks down the White House bragging that they've now taken complete control of ABC, NBC, and CBS. The government is now in open control. Remember Gore Vidal, 8 years ago, right after 9/11, went on CNN and said, well, I just want to say they just had an Army colonel telling me what I couldn't and couldn't say. Cy Hirsch has said the same thing. These are Pentagon-run. When you're at Fox News or CNN or CBS, it is Pentagon-run. These are government organs now. I don't know how conspiracy theory got on True TV. I guess they just think it's in the corner of television somewhere and it's mixed in with other programming. And I'll talk to Ventura about that next time he's on because he's marveling. He didn't think it would air. But I think because of the sensational angle, the establishment thinks it's all right. I'm not sure. The point is, CBS propaganda placement conspiracy theories are anti-American domestic terrorist. And I ended up last night watching almost the entire 44-minute show, 15 minutes of ads, online. And you can randomly watch Int24, CSI, any show, it's the same thing. Every episode, people that homeschool are terrorists, or people that don't take vaccines are terrorists, or people that aren't for abortion are terrorists, or people that don't want fluoride in their water are terrorists, people who are against GMO are terrorists, or the mother doesn't vaccinate and her kid dies. Or they're homeschoolers and they torture their kids, but the CPS comes and saves them. I mean, it's just wall to wall. Folks, sometimes I'll randomly turn the TV on at night and just randomly surf to a drama or sitcom, and it's just all brainwashing. That is 100% proof of the evil of our government, the evil of our media. And that's why you have Cass Sunstein and Elena Kagan and all these other White House czars and solicitor generals and the rest of them openly saying, we're going to shut down freedom on the internet. We're going to shut down Alex Jones. There's open calls for it. ADL, Southern Poverty Law Center, New York Times, time to ban freedom of speech, time to shut down these conspiracy theorists, time to ban people that say global warming isn't real, because we're kicking their butts. We are smashing these people. We are exposing them at every level, and they know it, and they can't stand it. They are scared of what we're able to do together. They know that the people are rising up and getting informed and getting involved and waking up to what's happening. It is so vital for each and every one of you individually to reach out like an intervention, like they're a heroin addict, to go knock on that old lady's door next door and sit there and watch TV with her and drink tea or whatever and point out propaganda on television. To talk to your boss, your neighbor, to show people. You can watch any show and there's an anti-American agenda. This isn't a free society. We're just marinating in brainwashing. Now, let's go ahead and go to this piece. You've got the one woman in it who thinks the professor's okay, But Gary Sinise, you know, the cool male leader type, he says, look, this guy's anti-American. He believes in chemtrails, which they now have declassified. The White House science czar admits there's a secret program to alter the atmosphere. You know, he gives Associated Press conferences. But see, they know you're not watching AP press conferences, folks. They know. And then he's even more un-American. He thinks fluoride's bad in the water. Imagine, if anybody had common sense, it'd be like if you traveled to the old Soviet Union, say in the 70s, and you could speak Russian, and you were in a hotel watching their news, and they had some ridiculous propaganda. It's how ridiculous the propaganda is. It's like Monty Python. It's like Brazil, you know, the movie Brazil, with a futuristic 1984 with Robert De Niro in it. I mean, it's like absurdist. Oh, look, he thinks fluoride's bad in the water. He's anti-American. Oh, look, he wants to nerve gas. You know, I mean, folks, they think you are idiots. And I know I keep marveling hour after hour on this. I just can't handle it anymore. It's every show. It's pure brainwashing. Every stinking show. In fact, others should do it. I've talked for a decade about making a film about propaganda, just showing the overt demonization of anyone for liberty or freedom. But imagine turning on Russian TV 30 years ago and them saying, anyone who talks about a right to private property is evil terrorist that wants to kill you. Anyone that says us putting chemicals in the water is a terrorist. The Russians weren't even that ridiculous. Only in America do you turn it on and it goes, this guy's some kind of terrorist, un-American. He thinks fluoride's bad. The lady's like, come on, he's just a little eccentric. And the other person says, he got in trouble in college for teaching it. The message is, you better not criticize fluoride or you'll lose your job. So there's a message to scare you because they know people all over. Folks, I've read mainstream news articles on air. Texas Monthly writer was making fun of me about fluoride in the water. But he was for real. He wasn't an evil demon because he'd exposed police framing people in Texas. I assessed him. I did the interview, the multiple interviews. I hadn't checked into his family. I later found out his wife works for the city of Austin in the water system. That's why he got really upset when I said sodium fluoride's causing bone cancer, attacking every organ. I emailed him the congressional hearings. I emailed him the report where 90+% of EPA scientists, as well as a bunch of FDA scientists, sent letters saying hundreds of chemicals are put in the water under the name fluoride, but fluoride itself doubles cancer risk. And he kind of called up and apologized. He said, okay, no, I'm shocked by this. I'm shocked by this. And then later I did research on him and found out his wife, works there. So that's probably why he's shocked by it. Because I bet she doesn't even know, even though she has a degree in wastewater management from the same prestigious university he went to. I forget the name of it. What's the one up north of Round Rock? What's that big university? It's not big, but it's Southwestern, yeah. But the issue is that he, has got a Southwestern degree. His wife does. She's in wastewater management, works in the city of Austin, and he doesn't even know this. So he was kind of shocked the next time we met, and he pulled that out of the story, that I'm this kook who thinks, look, it eats your frickin' bones. It attacks your damn brother. I'm sorry, I apologize. I just can't do this show anymore, okay? I can't do it anymore. They know the fluoride's killing us, all right? And I got to watch shows on CBS, on television, where we're terrorists because we're warning people. People are giving it to their kids, people. They're giving it to the children. You go to a Babies R Us or H-E-B food store, and they've got big aisles of fluoridated water for babies at 5 parts per million. 1 part per million causes a 20-point IQ reduction on average. Major studies. Massively increases cancer. Attacks every organ. And I'm the kook, because I'm not supposed to get upset. See, they've trained everybody to be real calm in that NPR voice, or like the Rumpelstiltskin character in the new Shrek. Hi. They ought to give Rumpelstiltskin from that show an NPR show. The person that did the voice. I'm your friend. Oh, the fluoride's good. Terrorists don't want you to drink it. How does the public watch a show where the terrorists don't want you to drink fluoride? I mean, guys, are you getting why I'm freaking out on this? How obvious it is. How ridiculous. I mean, if I was writing a fictional satire book about a off-the-charts bonkers tyranny, this would be it.